Hello everybody, this is Gwyneth Isaac speaking here. I've got my lunch. For lunch today we have lamb stew. With rice. There's some potatoes in there too. And some herbs, rosemary. Stuff that goes well with lamb. That lamb had an unfortunate accident. It got its head stuck in a gate. And because I'd put its mother out to graze, the mother and the lamb have to be separated at some stage. And this lamb was about 5 or 6 months old, so it wasn't a tiny little baby, but it kind of freaked out. Got its head stuck in the gate, and by the time I found it, it was too late, it was gone. So, waste not, want not. I butchered it and boiled it up into a massive, actually 3 batches of stew. And slop about 2 litres of vinegar between the 3 batches of stew, about 8 litres of stew all up, maybe 1 litre. Fair whack of vinegar. Big handful of salt in each pot. Then I'm going to rot. They're going to be like McDonald's hamburgers that are like 3 years old, still sitting there. No, but seriously, I reheat these pots of soup each day. I have them on rotation, reheating. And that's how you do stews or soups without refrigeration. When you can't freeze them, what do? Salt and vinegar. Not just for potato chips, not just for the French fries and, whatever Americans call them, Pringles. Just quite yummy. Salt and vinegar goes very nicely together. They're both excellent preservatives, so I'll be eating lamb stew for a while. There we go. Then we had a chicken. It misbehaved itself. Started deliberately. Sometimes chickens accidentally eat eggs. An egg breaks just for whatever reason, and the chickens just clean it up. They accidentally eat eggs. But there's a difference between chickens accidentally eating eggs and deliberately eating eggs. And when you get one that's a deliberate egg eater that's figured out that it goes pluck, 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 pluck on the shell and the shell breaks, you better get rid of that chicken real quick. You better go out there that night, catch it when they've all gone up to roost, break its little neck, and turn it into chicken soup. That's what I've had to do with this chicken. So now I've got chicken soup as well. And I've got another one that's an egg eater as well, a different pan. I've upped the supply of shell grit, by the way, so yeah, we know, but I got busy with other things and their shell grit ran low. But they've had their shell grit topped up now, so it's all good. It's all good. So, chicken soup. I'll have to get that other chicken that I've isolated and, have roast chicken and chicken soup. I'll cook up some potatoes. Oh my gosh. So I'm actually feeling really good. I've been living on more starchy foods for a while. Ramen noodles. And stock powders, vegetables. That sort of soup. That'll get you through. That's quick. It's easy. Slaughtering animals is not quick or easy. It's actually not my favourite job either. So, but that's nature, isn't it? And when you get to, little baby, well, not little baby lambs, like pre-adolescent lambs that, manage to do something and get a Darwin Award. I really liked her. I was going to breed from her. Not going to happen now. Oh well. Her mum's pregnant again, so she'll have more babies and it'll be okay. I'll breed from the next lot. Same genetic. It'll be okay. All the vegans are freaking out. Yeah! Killing babies. No, I'm not. The baby lamb died on its own. It did something stupid and got a Darwin Award. And I'm not going to throw away a perfectly good carcass. But, I made all up about 10 litres of soup, meat, actually. About 10 litres of meat. About 10 kilograms of meat. I'm not going to throw 10 kilograms of perfectly good meat away. And I'm actually, like I said, my health is really benefiting. I was missing out on having actual meat. Eggs are fine, milk's fine, eggs and milk will get you through. And ramen noodles are, they're actually pretty nutritious. Actually, I found out something. Ramen noodles are made of kudzu. That vine that's been taking over Florida for the last little while? They're made from kudzu roots. You could solve world hunger very easily with ramen noodles, but, people won't do that, will they? Because kudzu bad. Yeah, whatever. It's how the South fed itself through the Great Depression, was they fed their livestock off of kudzu vines. The Depression finished, and then they, stopped harvesting the kudzu vine for livestock food, and the kudzu vine got out of control. So should have kept harvesting the kudzu vine. You wouldn't be paying anything for your livestock feed, would you? Kudzu vine grows at a phenomenal rate. It's 100% edible, not at all toxic at all. Has a massive, 10 kilogram taproot. Like a gigantic sweet potato. Dig it up, bake it, boil it, use it like a sweet potato or a potato. Or, mix it in with flours and make your own homemade ramen noodles. And eggs. You could do that. But no. Kudzu bad. Wish I could get some kudzu around here. It'd be great. It'll be the end of all my problems. No more forking out what? I think it's $255 a month now on hay. It's about, $60 $65 a week or something, $62.50 a week or something on hay. And that's cheap. Feeding them on chaff, feeding them on hay from the feed store. Oh my gosh, no, I buy from the farmer direct. And he delivers it and I pay him cash. So some people spend their dole checks on like booze and gambling. I spend my dole checks on fencing materials, internet, cell phone connection, and animal food, and a little bit of food for myself. There's the dole check. And some infrastructure. Maybe some seeds. Maybe a plant. So this week it's going to have to be broad beans from eBay. $44 a kilogram. Shipped. So, jolly good, mate. Broad bean seed. Now that I have some proper garden areas made, proper fences around them, and Skippy won't come in and just devour them all. Skippy the bush kangaroo and her friends. You know, Swampy the swamp wallaby. Jolly good. Worth the sweat equity. Worth the sweat equity. Absolutely. But after that, you know, once the rains begin, please God, please let the rains begin soon. You've got to have the seed on hand. You've got to have it ready to go. As soon as you get like an inch, 2 inches, got to be out there, got to be planting them ASAP. Quick, smart. Yeah, got to do it. Because the winters are short and cool. Very good for growing broad beans. Very good for growing broad beans. Very good for growing kale. Very good for growing all brassicas. Turnips. Okay. Don't know, I might get some turnip seed. Have a go at turnips. But I don't know if it's really cold enough here for turnips and wet enough. Oh, if we get a good wet winter, probably turnips will be okay. Turnips are a very fine livestock fodder. Very fine. Very nice people fodder. Oh, good lot of turnips after they've been frosted. Baked up. Swedes, parsnips. These are all the vegetables you plant in winter around here. You know. It'll be good to get the vegetable patch growing again. Last summer there was no vegetables. No annual vegetables because last winter, we got no significant rain. It wet the soil, you know, down to about 1 metre, but we didn't get any runoff, and we didn't get anything in maybe 2 or 3 feet into the dam. And by the time January came, the dam was empty, and it's still empty, still waiting for the rain. I pray to God, Father, in Jesus' name, that we get rain. But we will. But winter, you don't need to irrigate. Not around here. Even if the rains are very ordinary, the soil is wet enough to raise a broad bean crop. That's how it is. Yeah, that's what I'll be doing, but got to get that broad bean seed. Yeah. Yummy. Lamb. Waste not, want not. And I've been making garden areas. I think I showed you the garden areas. Yeah. Make them nice and tall. I saw something last night. I was working on one of my garden areas. I came down to work on it, and it was Swampy, the swamp wallaby, came to, check out my handiwork. She's been sticking her hand through into the garden. That opposable thumbs. Kangaroos. They've only got, I think, 3 claws, maybe 4 claws. They have an opposable thumb. They have a full-on hand. Just reaching her hand through, plucking out bits of green from the other side of the fence and going. Smart little lady. I've seen her a number of times. She won't be able to do that anymore. Come and I'll show you the work that I've been doing. Oh my gosh, up I get. Oh. One really good thing. Meat. Build your health, build your strength. And I've got a thing with my health. I have to eat meat. I can go for a certain length of time with getting by with like stock powder soups, as I call them. But, eggs and milk, all that stuff, that's all good. Most people could probably get by that way, but I need meat. If I go too long without meat, I begin to get ill. Because I have a history of anemia, low blood iron levels. I feel my energy draining and I think, oh no, here we go, I've got to get some meat. And then the baby lamb died. And I was sad for about a few minutes. And I thought, right, cut up this carcass, let's get this meat happening. Meat! That is what I've been doing. You can see here, before I put this layer of wire on, that's going to be wired in probably this afternoon when I finish my lunch. She was reaching her little hand in and going pluck, 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 and pulling it out and going just like that. And I saw her doing that and I said, oh, you cheeky little rat bag, you. Look at that out there. That compared to that. No wonder she's coming in. She just wants to live. She just wants to survive. But if I didn't fence this area, that, you can tell, she's been hammering it. She would come in here and regard it as her personal little smorgasbord. She would come in here, and I saw her. That fence, before I put the second round of wire up, was just not tall enough. For one thing, she was reaching her hand through before I put this wire on, that is, this wire. And the other thing is, I saw her, she saw me, she turned tail, and she went kaboink, kaboink, kaboink. Maybe not that many kaboinks. She stopped here, and she went clean over that fence, and then clean over that fence. There's not much height difference between that and that. There's not really that much height difference. That's why I had to make the taller fence, and I'll have to do it around all of them, all of my garden areas, because otherwise she's going to get to work. There we are. I'm very happy with that work. There's more work to do. This here needs to be fenced. You can tell now that she can't get to that one anymore, she's getting started on this one. Poor old Carpobrotus. And they've been coming through. I was out here at 4:30 this morning. They weren't expecting me, but I had to come out here. I mentioned that I had a chicken. It was an egg eater. I came out 4:30 in the morning, went into the Old English Game Bantam yard, saw where it was roosting that evening, came back 4:30 in the morning, walked up to it, boom, grabbed it by the legs, back, took it in, started processing it. This is another. Oh my gosh, look at that. That is just absolutely disgusting. If they keep doing this too much, if they keep doing that too much, what happens is they kill it. That's why you see pigface Carpobrotus growing here and not anywhere out there. Do you see any Carpobrotus anywhere, any pigface anywhere out there? No. Why not? Two reasons. This landscape once upon a time would have been full of Carpobrotus, pigface, and it would have been full, oh there's a stick, and it would have been full of swamp wallabies and aborigines. The aborigines hunted the swamp wallabies, kept their numbers under control, and the swamp wallabies never succeeded in annihilating the pigface. Now the aborigines are long gone, you know. Swamp wallabies are bred up in their numbers, and they put sheep through here a little while back, and sheep absolutely adore pigface. They grow fat on pigface, but they hammer it probably even more than the swamp wallabies do. That's why there's no pig face on this landscape anymore, except for tiny small little fenced in areas that I'm planting in pig face. Whoops. Chop that up later. Oh, hang on, I'll put it near the chopping place. Stick. Put it near the chopping place, then I will remember it. There we go. Well, that's how it is. There we go. And if you're going to get anything growing here, you're going to put whopping great fences all the way around it. Because the kangaroos and the wallabies will come in and they will chew it out unless it's utterly unpalatable food. And here's my other pet peeve. Currawongs. Get out of here. Go on. Go on. I suppose they have a natural function, but they also eat my seeds. They diminish the seed bank. So there we go. Blimey, currawongs. People come out here and they move out here and I say, oh, small wallabies and currawongs, oh, they're so pretty, they're so nice. Until they start destroying your gardens. Then your opinions begin to shift. There we go. That's living out here, that's what it's like. You'll never get rid of the wallabies, and you'll never get rid of the currawongs, you'll never get rid of the grey kangaroos. You've got to work with them and work around them. And they do have a natural function. They live here. They were living here before I was living here. Oops. They were living here thousands of years before I came along. They're just trying to make their living. That's all they're trying to do. So, but it does get a little bit annoying sometimes because it just makes everything more work, more expense, more complicated. I couldn't do cropping here. Currawongs that eat up all the seeds. I've tried it. Currawongs that eat up all the seed as soon as it was sown. Every last little seed. Because they're pretty smart. I think they're a corvid related to crows. And the swamp wallabies come in as soon as it germinates and go nom 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 nom. There we go. So you got to fence an area. And for an area the size of my Old English game bantam run, that cost, gosh, how much? Over $500. So you're looking at $100. You're looking at $1 per square foot just to fence a garden area. So you got a 500 square foot garden. And that's the cheapest way to do it. Doing it the cheapest way will cost you $500 for a 500 square foot garden. $10 per square metre. 50 square metres, $500. Anyway, we're at half an hour. So, God bless you all, and I'll see you later.